Good evening, everyone. Welcome. I hope you are well on a slightly chilly Wednesday evening. Delkim Live, here we are again, chatting for half an hour or so about all things Delkim. Hope you're all well and safe out there. What are we going to do today? Well, we're going to continue with what we kind of started yesterday. A bit of myth busting is a way of saying it. Just going to go through things that we hear, things that people have said, questions people ask on a regular basis and they get the wrong end of the stick, or it's just stuff that we've heard that's not true, or some things that we just need to re-clarify again, just to make sure people know. Even today I've been trying to repeat stuff over and over again on every single video, and still people don't necessarily understand what's going on and how. Even our shops don't even know, so maybe that's our fault and that's things we need to sort out. But thank you. Let's have a quick look. Everybody's online. Let's have a look who's here. Sonic Mason, we've got YouTube people. Alfredo, he's on America. Hello, Alfredo. Peter Douglas, so we're having a look. People, there's our normal people. So don't forget, type a message up if you've got any questions. Then we'll have a look at those as well, and as we go through tonight. But just going through a few little things generally, and then might do a sort of a more bigger sort of 2-camera type Facebook Live tomorrow, going into some more detail on something that I'll pick up from you guys by what you've been saying and talking and asking and doing for the last week or so. So let's just make sure there's people on board, and then we can get on with what we've got. Oh, there's quite a few people on board. Wow, you lot must be bored. Hopefully you're finding this lot interesting. By the end of it, hopefully, as I just scrat around my screens, by the end of it, hopefully everyone, as I've said, will know everything about everything. I start off again. Hi Rob. Rob Carrington's on, our repairs man. He's here, so he might answer a few questions to help me as I go along. So, first thing, and I keep saying this, download the app. If you haven't downloaded that app, what are you waiting for? You've got nothing else to do, or vast majority of us have got not a lot else to do. Get your smartphone out, get that app. Let me get it up now. Go to Apple or go to your Google Play, wherever you get your apps from, and get that app on your phone. Okay, yes, there's no competition anymore, but there might be some more stuff coming your way once we get back up and running and our marketing department is fully functional. But we've got the quick guides on here, so for your, let's focus in there. So if you're using your new alarms or you've just purchased some, then there's quick guides there to help you use the products. So you take that with you wherever you go. You don't have to read through the instructions. They're just quick guides there. I showed you guys yesterday how quick and simple the alarms are to set up. Myth number one, our alarms are really, really complicated. No, you turn them on, you program into your receiver, you set your tone if you want to, and you go fishing. Then, if you want to start playing with all the extra features, which are not that many, really, I can change the LEDs, brightness for day and night. I can set my beat speed. That's what you do on the fly. Oh, I can turn a stealth mode on and off. Okay, I've got an extra IMU movement sensor for security. I can turn that on and off. There you go. There's not that many. There are some other bits on the receiver that you can do, but it ain't that complicated. It's different. Don't get me wrong, it's different, but it ain't that complicated. Let me go from here. We've got video guides. So again, talking you guys through. Let's focus on there. Hello, Mr. Camera. There we go. So video guides for all our products. For the digital range, there's visual indication systems on there as well, and we will be adding to that as we go along out there. So get that app on your phone. I can put the warranty in for my new products. If I bought something new, and that kicks in, hold on, you can see my camera there, isn't it? There we go. So that focus, there you go. So I could put my warranty in there. Okay, warranty, barcode number and all that one. And just to clarify on that, while I'm here, because I was wanting to show something, I'm desperately looking for the alarm I was using that had the barcode in. There it is. Okay, That's the barcode. Have that focus in on there. So the barcode is, let's get that a bit closer, see if that will focus. If I put my finger there, it might. Come on, camera. Doesn't want to focus. It will do. There's a 7-digit barcode. Starts with a 1. And that's your barcode in there. It won't focus, ever so sorry. See if that will pick it up now as I go in. It's trying to. No, but there's a 7-digit number. That's the overriding barcode. Shops tend to put their own stickers on the bottom of the box to cover over our barcode. And when we get the warranties in, people are putting their numbers in, which is to do their EPOS systems on shops. If there's a big sticker over there and it doesn't look like that. Oh yeah, it's going to focus now. There. Ooh, it nearly did. You can just about see that there. Okay, it doesn't look like that. Then it's not the right barcode. So that's on there. Anyway, you can do all that on the app. Okay, I can get my spares and repairs on the app. I can find my nearest stockist on the app as well. It will find that for you. There we go. So you really are missing out if you don't download the app. And that app's only going to get better because we're going to add to it and grow, and the Delkim family will be brought into it. You know, we might be able to communicate better with people. People might be able to be a community within that app as well. There's lots of ideas on that we'll be developing. So please go to App Store, go to Google Play, get that in your phone. Okay, right, let's do some myth busting then. I've even got these written down because I'm going to start to go through these. People have said stuff and I just wanted to clarify. So let me just get my little list up. Okay, one thing that we get quite a lot, generally from our European customers, that seems to be going around, can I use Delkims with braid? Yes, always been able to use Delkims with braid. Delkims are awesome with braid, and the new ones are even better because you can turn them down even lower. So I've got this one on. Let me just check I've got it on. There you go. So I've got this one on. I've got the receiver on over here as well. So this was on. Okay. Let's put it into lower brightness so you'll be able to see. Okay. So I've got that in maximum response here. Okay. Oh, let's get that focused in on their autofocus camera. There we go. So I've got our maximum response. Okay. I shall now turn this down to absolute 0. And you shouldn't do this, but I'm doing this for you for purposes that don't have any braid, right? I'm using a old battery door from an old TXI Plus. Okay, I repeat, do not do this. Okay, don't get cards and start ramming them on sensors because that's when it's damaged. But I know what I'm doing, so I'm going to show you. Okay, so I'm effectively, this is the thickest braid you're ever going to have, and I'm showing you the difference. Okay, this is in absolute off, or virtually off. Okay, I'm hardly getting any pulses by really cranking that round. Okay, if I turn that up a bit more, I'm running literally a massive thick bit of card over that, and just to show you the difference of when I put it up into full response, you see how easy that goes in. That just goes flat out. Okay, you've got much lower levels on the new digital system, EVD, sorry, and the TXID. You can really turn that down to use braid as you would want without it going mental again. Get this whole range of stuff on there. So the sensor, as I've showed you before, where is it? Can you focus in on that, Mr. Camera? Got my new camera and it's trying to focus. But anyway, I've told you this before. So that is the sensor in there. You've got this material here, which is PEEK. There we go, there it focuses. So PEEK, that's a plastic. It's heat resistant to a ridiculous amount of temperature. They used it on the space shuttle. That's not a word of a lie. They used it on the space shuttle. And so running braid over that will not melt it. Lowering your bait out, or your line out with your boat, running that over there will not melt that sensor. Okay, so you've got fish with confidence if you are using braid, any line whatsoever. There is no problem with using our products with any type of line or braid at all. So number one, that's myth number one. Let's have a look. Oh, who's saying this? Warranty is only for alarms, not for visual indication. That's right, Michael Goodyear. The alarms get the warranty. You have a 2-year warranty on all our products. The alarms, because they have the barcodes on, you can register them for an extra year's warranty. Okay, Michael. Stephen Williamson, battery leaked on my TXI, ruined the circuit board. I'm gutted. I would suggest you pop that back and we'll see whether it's ruined. It might be that we can resurrect it. We have Rob Carrington was on here, our repairs guy. He has magic fingers. He might be able to bring it back to life for you. So don't assume it's gone. It's not going to be great, but it might well be retrievable. We shall see. Paul McMinn, probably not. There we go. That's a simple answer to that one. Sorry. So anyway, moving on. Question number 2. Are we still repairing everything? Going back onto repairs? Yes. All our products are still being able to be repaired. We're still repairing all the Plus range. Okay, we have not stopped doing repairs at all on our products. So just because we brought a new range of alarms, it doesn't mean that the other ones, because they're discontinued, will not be serviceable or repairable. Yes, we're struggling to repair our first ones, you know, pre-2003. So if a circuit board goes or the components go, we're really struggling to do anything with those pretty much. But same with the receivers, 2000 and 2004 receivers, the models. You know, there's no radio modules or anything like that we can get hold of. Hardware, switches, pots, LEDs, battery connectors, those kind of things. Yes, we can still do something with them. If the sensors go, we can replace the sensors. That is all still doable because they're common parts with the Plus range. So there might be life in the old dogs yet, as it were. So, but everything is still repairable, and we will continue to do that for as long as we possibly can. And you know, we've got contingencies in place for that. What else we got? Can I use the d-loks? So this is something that popped up today. Can I use the d-loks with other people's hangers? So can I use, you know, other fitments in there, and how do I do it? Yes, of course you can, is the answer. So it would fit just like you would put it under your alarm. So I have here a d-lok. So that's a d-lok foot. Okay, and normally you would just oh, let's do that on there. Normally you'd screw that down. Let's get it in there. You screw it down like that. Okay, just doing that for that, and then you'd click your alarm in there. Okay, if you're adding somebody else's equipment, a swan neck example, you just put it into there, and I shall use what I had to hand. So this is an old, you know, the base that you'd stick under the alarm, but I'll use this as an example. This is not how you use this base, but I'm using it as an example to show you how to put somebody else's swan net in between. So okay, I put that through there. I'll do it that way around because that'll be easier. I put that through there, and then I would tighten that down underneath, and get it in the bolt, lock that down like so. So imagine that's a swan neck of some sort that's in between your foot and your bank stick. That's it. If you wanted more clearance than that, if you had something that was quite thick, then we do a longer bolt, a replacement bolt. Haven't got any of them with me, but there would be a replacement bolt. That's the bolt, just so that you can see it. And there'll be it's 5 mil longer, so you get an extra 5 millimeters of clearance if you wanted something thick in there. But there is going to be a limitation to how much you can whack underneath one of those, you know. But yeah, no problem if you're using Stowe's or anybody else's hangers, bobbins, then, you know, black whites, whatever you're using, then you can put them underneath should you wish. So that gets rid of that one. What else we got? Let's see if we've got any questions on that while I'm here. Michael Hailstones, why does braid need lower sensitivity than monofilament? The reason it needs, you would generally turn the response down, or sensitivity, depending on what model of alarms you've got, because it generates a lot more signal. Because it's rougher, even though it's thinner, it's rougher generally than monofilament, so you would get a lot of signal, so it would go into the warble straight away. So a bit like if I turn that one up and I'm using my bit of card, I'm not having to, that is going crazy without a lot of movement. If I'm using something like, what have I got to hand? I haven't got a bit of line, but I've got something. I've got one of the bags that the weights came out of. So if I run something lighter over that, it doesn't go as crazy straight away. So it's about the friction, effectively, that line or braid is creating on the sensor. So you've got more adjustment to cope with that. So you'd want to turn the response level down because you're going to get more oomph out of it, you know, in simplicity terms. So you can balance it out. You crank it right up to maximum, it'll be going off all the time without, you know, without much effort. So that's why, because braid generates more friction. Okay, and it's very, very you know, you get a lot of information, then it's tight, and you know, those that use braid know. Maybe somebody else can explain it better to me, to Michael. What else got? Any questions in there? Can you change the night glow levels? My purples look brighter than the blues and the greens. There's no adjustment of the night marking on the any of our alarms. The night marking is set. So yes, well, there might be slightly perception to do with the pinpoint of the light. From, you know, when they're on normal brightness, they flare up quite a lot. But when they're at the very low levels, it's the way that the LED is made. Some have a little pinpoint of light in the center of the LED, some it's more spread over the width of the LED. It's generally more noticeable when the levels are low, but the brightness is actually the same because we've balanced that out. So it might look slightly different, but the balance of the light is the same. Of course, when it lights up normally, you don't notice that so much. So that's why, but it's not adjustable. Okay, sorry about that. How can I get longer bolts, d-loks? How can I get, Brian Gold, how can I get bolts, d-loks? Got the longer ones, still not enough. Need 20, it's not possible. If you want that much clearance, if you're using something that's got that much, 25 millimeters, then you can't use the d-lok system. You're going to have a long bolt or something, or a kit off, or somebody else's type scenario. We don't do anything that long. You know, it's a low profile, quick release system. So it's not something that you can whack 25 mil underneath. It's going to be what it is. You know, you've got, well, I don't know what that is. That's the maximum clearance on a standard one. We do one that's 5 mil longer than that. I haven't got a ruler to hand, but that's your maximum plus 5 if you're going to get the longer one. So I would imagine that should be enough. But anyway, if you're trying to put so much underneath, then maybe the d-loks are not quite what you're looking for. We've had this conversation yesterday. Retro alarms. No, we're not into doing retro alarms. We're not into doing specials. We are a mass producer of alarms, albeit, you know, we make them in the UK, but we're a manufacturer. We haven't got time to make specials and do little one-offs. It's not where we're at. Other companies specialise in those kind of things. We're not doing those kind of specials. Okay. Let's carry on with what we were looking at. Let's see, what else have we got? Hangers. Do the hangers fit the new alarms? Yes. Do the nightlight indication sets work with the old alarms? Yes. Every single visual indication system that we make works with our old plus range and the new digital range alarms. I cannot emphasize that enough. Any shop that's watching, please, they are compatible with everything. Nightlight indication sets, just because they're new, they work with everything. They all have the same socket on the bottom. That's the socket that's on all of them, and therefore it goes in the same size hole of that one. That will go in there, and it goes in the same size hole that's on the bottom of that one, albeit that one's in black because it's not got the colour ring on it, and they all fit. Okay, every day I get asked that, every day. I'm saying it on every single video, and I get asked it every day. So we'll try and see whether we can get, by the end of this, hopefully everybody will know that all our hangers work with everything. That would be fantastic in itself if that was possible. What else have we got? Something else as well, which is probably quite worth mentioning. If you have purchased some second-hand alarms, so you've bought yourself some TXI pluses to add to a set, or you've just bought them and you've bought a receiver from somewhere else, maybe an older receiver, or you had a receiver. Okay, if you've got new alarms that were made after 2008 and you've got a receiver that was made before 2008, those two products potentially might not talk to each other because the receiver might need a software update. So if you've got an old set and you've bought a more recently manufactured TXI Plus and you're trying to program it and it's not programming in, or the two of them you bought, they're not programming in, it will probably mean that your receiver needs a software upgrade. We only need the receiver, and when it gets back to you after it's been upgraded, it will work with your older ones and your later ones. We don't need the old alarms. It's not an alarm related problem or issue. It's to do with the fact that each alarm that we ever made, and we still have the same system in the new ones, has an individual code, and when you pair your receiver to your alarm, it is learning that code, that individual code, which is why you don't get any cross activation. If your mate's got in the next swim or there's 100 people on the lake with Delkims, they don't get one setting off your receiver. When we got to about 2008, we ran out of codes. We didn't realise how well we would sell our products. So we had to generate a new style of coding to continue making the TXI pluses. We put that in the receivers built after that, so they all talk to everything. But ones that were made before 2008 might have the old software that doesn't know the codes, basically. And then when you send them back, we update the receiver so it recognises all the codes. So if you send a repair in and you've had an exchange circuit, that exchange circuit is going to be a newer model, basically. Therefore, your receiver will need a software update, more than likely, unless you've had it done already. So again, we just need the receiver, and it will still work with your old alarms and the ones that you've just purchased or the ones that you've just repaired. That is the why, and it's a free of charge update. You know, we've never charged anybody for a software update on a receiver, so it's a free of charge update, and it will then work with everything. So hopefully that answers it. Aaron Jones, loving my TXIDs, awesome bits of kit. Getting a lot of love for the TXIDs on here. I have to say, it was I think people are slightly coming around to it now. Maybe you've all sat at home and played with them and understood them a bit more. But they are good, I think. It's going to take people to know it. I can tell you till I'm blue in the face. It's you lot out there telling other people, how good they are, and hopefully then people will see. Hopefully these videos have shown you, or what I've been doing shows you that some of the benefits of the, getting a lot of positivity coming from what we're doing at the moment, which is great. Trying our best. We're just trying our best. We just try and make products that people want to use. That's all we're trying to do. We don't try and catch anglers. We try and help people catch fish. That's where we come from, which is why we tend to have, we don't want gimmicks. We want good, solid products. That's where we are. What have we got? Do the Ds have rubber inserts above the sensor? Richard Webb, no, they don't have rubber inserts, because what tends to happen is that rubber perishes. If anybody's got anybody else's alarms, you'll know that they need replacing, or it perishes, or it rubs off, or whatever else. So what have we got? In there you go, you can see that. Shall I use my little pointy stick? I haven't got one. Oh, must get it in there. In there we've got it in. It's built in the moulding. There's just two little areas here, smooth areas for the rods to sit on. Will not damage your alarms. Will damage your rods. Just two little thin bits. There you go. You can see it on there. Sits on there. Permanently in the moulding. They will never damage. They will never go and perish in the sun. There we go. Let's pull that back again. Doesn't like focusing this camera very much, does it? But you can see there what I'm trying to show you. Okay, so they're permanently. They're never going to need replacing. It's never going to cost you any money ever again for the mouldings, because it's already in there. Okay, so that's why. Chris Connaught Mono. There's some new people coming in tonight. Why the name Delkim? I did a whole thing on the history of Delkim. It might be worth that. Was that Monday? I think it was Monday. Have a look on that. It will explain it. I'll get you to do some homework. Somebody's already answered it for him. There we go. Yep, Del and Kim. So Darren and Kim Donaldson, they were the founders of Delkim back in the late 70s. Okay. Right, a couple more things before we go. What else have we got? What else have we got? I'm going to do the big one last. Okay. Delkims are no good. They let you down in the rain, or they go off in the rain. Everybody, shall we deal with that one? What a load of nonsense. I have to keep saying what a load of nonsense. Yes, I will admit that we have faulty products every now and again. You're bound to get one, and there'll be somebody out there. We have sold a whole lot of alarms over the many years that we've been making them. They've been extremely popular, and we've sold a lot of alarms. We get less than 1% back if we make. Now, if we've made a load, 1% of a lot is still a lot, and we'd like no percent, but you can't get that. It's just not feasibly possible. But we get less than 1% back if we make, and less than half of that is for any water-related issues. So it just isn't the case that our products are not reliable in the rain. The new ones are absolutely even more bomb-proof than the old ones, and the old ones won awards after awards after awards. So anybody that pops up in here, if you're frustrated because you've had a faulty one, of course, anybody that has a faulty product, it's always a pain in the backside. Alarms are the first line of, what should we say, in the front line when you're fishing. If an alarm lets you down when you're fishing, it is a nightmare. So imagine how much we have to go through to try and make sure we're getting them right. Plus, you've got 3. So you've got 3 times the chance. So, or 4 times, or however many you've got. So, and also, half the time, it's people not setting them right. So they're going off in the rain, not because of any fault, it's because the rain's hitting the line. So, and it's bouncing around, and it's because it works on vibration, so you need to turn it down. But again, this is something that we have, again, people never have any issues in the rain. Of course not. There's only 1% and less that have any faults at all. So anyway, but let me show you. So this is on, okay? So the rain's hitting the line. Okay, if I put this into D&D, I'll do this again for people. So we have do not disturb. Let's turn that on. Let's just check I put that on because I need to make sure. There we go. Okay, that's D&D. Okay, do not disturb. So now it misses. This is this speaker, okay? If I turn the speaker down on this, you'll hear. Okay, so it's missing all the single pulses. But if I get a run, there you go, it kicks in. Anything that goes on for 4 seconds or more kicks in. So, and once it's awake, it's awake. But that gets over that shower where things are bouncing around and you've got everything set nice because you're using the vibration side of things. It works on vibration. So heavy, if something's hitting the line and you've got it set sensitive, it might go off. But if you've not got it set right, if it's raining all day and it's bouncing around and you've not got it set right, you've got to turn it down. That is half the fallacy or the myth that goes around, that people that don't use Delkims or don't know how to use them, or whatever else. That is the way. So there we go. No issue at all. Wayne Tester, thunderstorm. You're fishing in France. Good on you. There is fishing going on somewhere in the world, and it looks like they're trying to get fishing started again. I won't tell you where I was the other day and people were already fishing. I thought that was a bit out of order, but I won't name any names, but it's in Northamptonshire, shall we say. Yeah, unfortunately, idiots might ruin it for the majority, but we'll just have to see, and that'll be the same for everything, I think. Even shopping today, my wife, people pushing and barging around nowhere near 2 meters away. What can you do? This is going to be like this for a while. Right, I think we've got through a few things there. If there are any other little bits and pieces you'd like me to debunk, then I will of course look at those. We've done our half hour. Hopefully that has put some things to rest and answered a few questions. If we've got any more, get them up now. Speak now or forever hold your peace. And then we'll see how we go from there. Let's have a look. Any more questions? You've got them. I think you've seen them. People have been using them for so long. Here we go. I'll do one more before we go. Chris Freeman, how can I deactivate the on warning light on the RXD receiver? Sorry, yeah, RXD receiver. He's got that the wrong way around. RXD, confused himself. Okay, the RXD has a power on indicator. Every 2 minutes, I have done this before, every 2 minutes a little light will flash, whichever one was activated last, just a quick blink, just to let you know that the receiver is on. Okay, you can deactivate that if you want to. It's in section 3.1 of the instructions. The very first ones that we made didn't have that feature. We included that feature because we found that some people did, some people didn't. It's a bit of a confidence thing. We're like a smoke detector. You know that it's working. Just a little blink of the light just lets you know that everything's on. Some people found that disturbing, so we just updated, made that a switchable feature. And so anything you buy now, anything you've been able to buy since about September, has had that in. If you've got an early one and you don't like it and you want to have it switchable, then you can return your receiver to us for free and we will update that software for you. There's no other benefit to the update. All it does is just make that blink switchable. You can turn it off or you can turn it back on again. It's entirely up to you. See section 3.1 of your instructions. If you haven't got the amended instructions in your box, then it probably means you haven't got it. It'll be on there. If you want to come back to me, if you let me have your barcode number of your product, and then I'll be able to know whether it's got it or not, because I'll know from a certain date when they are. So that is switchable. Just look in the instructions of the receiver, section 3.1. Okay. Oh, what's this one? Harry Lisbon. Would it be possible to put a range test on the receiver so you can press a button when you go in your mate's swim and see if your alarms? Well, we have a range test, but you have to set it off on the TXI. So TXI that transmits, not the receiver. So it's the transmission you've got to check. So the TXI Plus has a range check facility that you can use to check how far you can go with the receiver, as does the TXI-D. Okay, they both have a range check facility. I haven't got time now to show that. It's in our instructions, it's on the videos, it's everywhere on our YouTube and on our app. So it has a range check facility if you need to go and check, and then you would just walk away and then you would be able to keep receiving for as long as you can walking away. So if you're in your mate's swim, set it into what we call auto beep or range check, then you'll know if it's picking up. Then you can just go back, turn it off, and then you can tell with confidence, sit there with confidence knowing that your receiver's going to pick up. Shouldn't be any issue with the RXDs, and really shouldn't be any issue with the other one. Depends how far away you are, I suppose, but yeah, you can do that. You can do that. Right, that's about it for tonight, people. I thank you again for your company. Tomorrow's Thursday, so that's going to be my last one for the week. Those who know, I do a little bit of DJing on a Friday night, so I try to keep that free now. It's getting too much trying to do too many social media things. Who knew I would be doing so much of this in the first place? Is there any way you can make the range bigger and wider? Depends what product you're on about. So anyway, I'll come back to you on that. Which ones are you on about, and I will come back to you. So yes, thank you very much for your time. I will answer any of these on the post that are there. I'll come back to them probably tomorrow. Shall we do a quiz tomorrow? I'll tell you what, we'll do a quiz. So we'll see if you've learnt anything, if you've come back to anything. So we'll have a little quiz like we did a couple of weeks ago. Tom Cotton, your band. Haven't forgotten about your prize, by the way. So yeah, there might be a little prize up for grabs. Nothing too crazy. It's really for fun. But what we'll do is we'll do a quiz tomorrow night. So 15-20 questions or so, just to see if you've actually learnt anything from what I've been saying, and then we will have a bit of fun on a Thursday evening. So good night, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Cheers, guys. Good night.